What's up, YouTubers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. So, I decided to do something a little bit different with this video because today, Hunt for Wolverine Dead Ends one-shot came out today, and this is kind of supposed to be the wrap-up for Hunt for Wolverine and, you know, kind of get you ready, get your mouth watering for the next installment in the Wolverine is Still Alive saga, which is kind of run a little too long, but, you know, hey, neither here nor there. But what I'm going to do with this video is I'm also going to sneak in some stuff from Claws of a Killer, because it would just be easier that way. But before we get started, if this is your first time checking out my channel and you want to see more awesome videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click, click. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this part out of the way. Claws of a Killer, Nothing Burger. This is the biggest Nothing Burger comic series I have probably read in quite some time as far as tie-ins go. When I say this, I'm talking about Claws of a Killer, not Hunt for Wolverine Dead Ends. Get into that in a minute. But this is the biggest Nothing Burger and is probably the main reason why people don't like reading tie-in books for comics. And this, I know usually I'm Mr. Positivity when it comes to comic books and things like this on this channel, and I'm usually the most forgiving person in the world, but guess what? I'm about to hang some L's around Marvel's neck for this comic, because in this book, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now, so go ahead and just give you the breakdown. What you really need to know about Claws of a Killer is that in this little town in Arizona, the Sotera organization, which has kind of permeated through the whole Hunt for Wolverine story arc, they have been doing these experiments that have somehow had this effect of stopping the mutant healing factor that characters like Wolverine, Sabretooth, Lady Deathstrike, and Daken have, or Daken, however you want to pronounce it, I don't care. He is literally a bird character. And during the story arc, we find out that Sotera has gotten their hands on Graydon Creed, the son of Sabretooth, and also the leader of the Friends of Humanity, a mutant hate group. So somehow he's been brainwashed and brought into the fold. They've also gotten Lord Darkwind, Lady Deathstrike's father, and apparently when Deathstrike found the adamantium signature in Arizona, it wasn't Wolverine, it was actually Lord Darkwind's sword, which he has no problem using to cut off one of Deathstrike's hands. But what you need to know about this book and at the end of it is that yes, Sotera is involved in this whole thing, and they have captured Daken and taken him into custody, and they are probably going to use him for whatever other Wolverine shenanigans they're probably about to pull off. This book sucked. But I'm gonna tell you what doesn't suck, and that's Dead Ends. Dead Ends is actually a pretty good book and does a really good job setting up Return of Wolverine, which I'm kind of tired of all these extra books, but you know what? It's okay, because at least we're getting somewhere. But in this book, we learn that Sotera has been capturing these random children, and we don't really know why. We see them getting abducted, we don't know what's really going on with them, but all we know is that the person narrating this particular section of the book says that they are all very special. What does that mean? We don't know. It's an X-Men book, so it can only mean one thing. It could probably mean that they're mutants, but hey, we'll get to that in a minute. Kitty Pryde has called a meeting at the Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach, and Daredevil, Iron Man, they all kind of come in, and Kitty Pryde basically tells them everything we've learned already. I mean, this book is pretty much, if you wanted to get the gist of what Hunt for Wolverine was without reading all those other tie-in books, this was the book to read. Which on one hand makes this book amazing, but at the same time makes me really angry about those other, 16 books. But it's actually really cool seeing Kitty Pryde and Iron Man, Daredevil kind of interacting within the household of the Xavier Institute. That part's really cool. We also get a really interesting scene where Iron Man is actually the one to point out that, hey, this is actual Betsy Braddock Psylocke that is sitting in your house. And, I talked about in the previous video talking about how there didn't really seem to be any consequences for Psylocke getting her original body back, but apparently there were, and that Psylocke has had to work with Jean Grey in order to kind of help her rehabilitate herself and get back into the swing of things. And it seems like now she's actually kind of feeling it. It's like the adrenaline is gone, and now the feels and the trauma is now starting to set in. So I'm really curious to see where they go with this. At the end of the day, all roads lead back to Sotera, and the thing is, we don't know who Sotera is. We have been in this for 18 issues roughly now, and we don't know who the hell they are. But I can tell you what we do know. We do know that there are some kind of huge pods. I don't know. I don't really know what to call them. They are falling through Earth's atmosphere and are very much likely what Sotera was shipping off into space. And of course, while we see, the X-Men scrambling to evacuate and Daredevil and Iron Man helping out, it is actually really cool to see them working together, and I also like that we get to see a moment that is really important for Kitty Pryde and reminds us once again how powerful this woman is. Butch haircut or not, or however you feel about Kitty Pryde, I don't care. This woman is beautiful and she is also very powerful. While Iron Man, Storm, and Firestar are able to stop these huge things falling from the sky, leaving one that's still barreling for the Xavier Institute, which, let me go ahead and just be honest with you, even this one hitting the ground would literally vaporize everything around it. Not just the Xavier Institute, but even the city as well. And Kitty Pryde does something like, and once again, she keeps constantly impressing me with her power set. She manages to phase the earth beneath her feet to the point that this huge object that has fallen from the sky falls through the ground into the Earth's core below. If that's not powerful, I don't know what is. Can we drop one of the clues bombs for Kitty Pryde? Can we please put some respect on Kitty Pryde's name? But anyways, enough about that. This is the moment when we learn who Sotera really is, because we see a man who we've technically seen before in the Mystery and Madripoor miniseries as a part of Hunt for Wolverine, but we didn't really get to see a whole lot of him. But the thing that Daredevil takes notice of is that this man has 10 bodies strewn out in a circle around him. And none of these bodies have a heartbeat. And this man, I mean, he pretty much comes in and just says, hey, look, I want to introduce you to my boss. And this woman appears in this kind of a hologram form who introduces herself as Persephone. And she basically comes out and says, I know who you all are. I know you all have saved the world. I know you have done great and wonderful things to save humanity. And I really have no beef with you. However, I have answers to all of your questions. And the first thing she says is, yes, I have Wolverine. Like, makes no bones about it. And she even says that he is doing good work and he is going to remain in my custody until I see that he doesn't need to be there. And she even admits that she's behind everything else that they've discovered. She admits that Sotera has been behind it all, that all of it is under her control. And just to prove how serious she is, she reveals that each of these people, each of these 10 people laying on the ground dead in front of her, they are all very special. These are the kids that we saw earlier in the book being abducted. And the reason why they are so special is because, yes, in fact, they are mutants, every last one of them, but they're not mutants yet. And basically, this is a big deal. If you think that this is just some kind of idle threat, you gotta remember, M-Day, the whole House of M storyline was not that long ago. Mutant birth rates are still kind of down. I mean, yeah, mutants, we still got more mutants coming in, but you still got to remember, man, that was actually a huge hit for the X-Men and mutant kind, and this woman is coming in and just jacking for mutants and taking them out before they even develop the actual X gene. And we know that Sotera came in and copied Mr. Sinister's database on all the humans and mutants in the world, so that's how she knew how to find these people. She went and found these people who she knew had the potential to become mutants but haven't yet. And she even reveals she knows the name of every X gene holder on the Earth. So basically, any mutant, past, present, or future, she knows precisely who they are. And one of the things I love about this, one of the best lines in this book, is when she says, like right before she leaves, she says, I know you want answers, you want closure, you want to catch the villain, you want your friend back. But I warn you, friends, stop looking. And I was like, dude, yes, this is what we needed. We needed somebody to come in and slap these X-Men around, go ahead and cuck them one good time, and man, I freaking love this. I love the fact that Kitty Pryde is shook. I mean, yes, she is definitely still tired from phasing a humongous object that just fell from space through the Earth, through the surface of the Earth, down into the Earth's core. That's a whole other story altogether, but I love the fact that the X-Men and Iron Man, Daredevil, they are just shook. They don't have a clue what's going on, and I even love the fact that when we end this book, we kind of get a little bit of a reveal of who Persephone really is, because she's wearing a mask. We know that she is black. We know she's a black woman. That's all we really know. We don't really know too much else about her, what her power set is, or if she even has powers. We don't really know that either. But I love the fact that she even admits that she was nervous when she met the X-Men, and even with Tony Stark and Daredevil being there. And she even kind of muses that Tony Stark probably understands exactly what it is she's trying to do. She also admits that she doesn't like killing children. But the thing is, she has so much conviction, she doesn't care. And we hear that, we see that classic snicked pop up on the screen, and that's when we see that, you know, she has Logan, she has Wolverine strapped up, and we see the hot claws, the, you know, hashtag hot claws. I still don't know how I feel about that. But I love the fact she's just sitting there staring at him, holding her little white gloves and telling him this will all be over soon. What that means, we don't know, but we do know that it's going to pick back up with Return of Wolverine #1, which I'm looking forward to. I'm kind of curious to see how this all pans out, but you know, hey, you never know. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I actually really like this book. I almost wish that they would not have even bothered with all these other miniseries. I like what they did in some of them. Some of them had really good character development, but I do almost wish they just would have done this. Just had, like, they could have condensed all of those into one shot, I kind of feel, but yeah, hey, whatever. But anyways, let me know what you thought of Hunt for Wolverine Dead Ends #1. Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button, and if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers, and tap that bell so you know when I post up. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you all next time. Plus Ultra!